Okay, next let's look at the next type of function. Alright, so you have composite function. Okay, so when you have a composite function like this, composite function means the bracket here, the power is more than 1. Okay, alright, so if you have like this, you cannot expand, so you need to use the power rule, right? So if you all use the power rule, okay, the step still the same. Multiply the index to the front. 5 times 4 become 20, and copy the function in the bracket. Okay, and then the index here, alright, always decrease the index by 1. So 5 minus 1 become 4. And don't forget to differentiate the function in the bracket. So you differentiate 2x become 2. Differentiation of any constant is 0. I explained already how do we get 2 here and why differentiation of the constant is 0. Okay, and then you simplify, you get this answer. So this is known as power rule. But for this type of function, okay, once again, you cannot use power rule. So here, and you cannot expand it. Okay, so you need to use product rule. So this one you must use product rule. Okay, and then okay, the formula for product rule is dy by dx equals, okay, let the function here be u and be v, and then you apply this formula. Alright, u dv dx plus v du dx. Alright, so actually we have done before. So this one we have done before, right? Okay, I explain one more time. Okay, so let this function be u and let this function be v, and then you differentiate. Du dx you can write as u prime. Okay, differentiation of the function u is u prime, and then differentiation of the function v is v prime. You can use v prime to represent it. Okay, okay, and then the formula start with u, but it's okay, you can start from here. Why? Because you have plus operation here. Okay, so dia tak ada effect apalah. Okay, so and I always start from here, where this is copy v, meanings copy v, this one, and differentiate u. Copy v, differentiate u. Okay, so how to copy? You copy the constant first. And if you have single variable, you copy the single variable first, then followed by a function with a bracket, power of 5 here. So you become like this. Next, you copy this and this, where this one is actually copy u, differentiate v. Copy u, so we have done this part, right? Copy u, differentiate v, this one. Okay, u is for x, and this is your v prime. As I said, copy the constant first, then 4. See? 10 and then 4, and then the variable, single variable x here, and then the bracket last. Okay, you copy the bracket, and then you can see you have the same function here. You can factorize 4 and 10, you can factorize. Okay, and how to do all this I explain already dalam video yang sebelumnya, you boleh pergi tengok lah. Okay, okay, yang penting adalah you kena faham, once you have this type of function, you cannot use composite function rule, power rule. Okay, macam ni tadi tak boleh. Okay, sebab apa? Sebab yang ni dia ada apa? Dia ada in term this one. Okay, the term here in terms of x, but this one is a constant. Okay, next. Okay, we have this type of function. Okay, this one. So this one you can see this bracket is power of 1. Okay, right. So this one, if you can simplify, you simplified it first, right? So why not you expand it first? So this one you can expand, so you expand it. Okay, but this one cannot expand because this bracket power 5. This one cannot expand. Why? Because this bracket is power 5. Okay, so if the bracket here is power of 1, you can simplify it first. Okay, if you simplify this, you'll get 8 4 times 2 8x squared minus 4x. Okay, let's say I use letter u to represent this function. So now how to write your first derivative notation? You write du by dx. Why du? Because the function right now is u in terms of x. Okay, alright, then you need to differentiate term by term. Okay, once again, use the concept of the basic formula of differentiation, multiply the index to the front, 2 times 8, 16, copy the variable there, the index there minus 1, becomes 16x. Okay, this one is x power of 1. 1 times negative 4, negative 4. Right, okay, and then this one, I explained before, right? If you have this type of function, of course, the result is negative 4. Okay, here. Where is it? It's here. Okay, this one. Right? Okay, 1 times 4 is 4. The variable here is x. And the index there, after decrease by 1, becomes 0. And any base power of 0 is 1. That's why you have 4. Okay? Okay, done. Okay, next. This function. How about this function? You have a fractional function here. So to solve this, you have two choices. Either, this one you cannot simplify, you know, right? If you have a function like this, for example, let's say you have function like this. This one. Let's say the subject is M, right? So before, you can see you have a single denominator here. Okay, once you have a single denominator, okay, please don't use quotient rule. Okay, sebab kalau you pakai quotient rule, dia akan jadi complicated. Okay, so you better simplify this first. Okay, katakanlah you ada n equals to 4x plus 5 over x cubed plus 7, for example. This one, you cannot simplify. You know why? Because this one, the denominator here, you have more than one term. It's not a single term. You have plus or maybe minus operation here. So this one, no choices. You must use quotient rule. Okay, let this function be u and let this function be v, and then apply the first the quotient rule formula. Okay, alright. So for this one, you can simplify it. Okay, where actually 4x and x cubed. 4x is over x cubed. So you can write 4x over x cubed plus. Okay, and one more. Actually, this term also is over x cubed. Okay, now you can see you have a fractional function. But this one you can simplify it, right? After you simplified it, become this one is power of 1, 1 minus 3 become negative 2, right? Okay, so become 4x to the power of negative 2. Okay, 4x over x cubed is actually 4x times x to the power of negative 3, right? So 4x power of 1 plus negative 3 become negative 2. Okay, that's why you have this. And this one convert to negative form. As I said, if you have your variable di bawah, bawa dia naik atas. Okay, bring up. So dia jadi negative power of negative 3. Now, you can start your differentiation working. Since the subject is m, so dm, and it is in terms of x, so dx, dm dx. So again, let's apply basic formula of differentiation. Multiply the index to the front, negative 2 times 4, negative 8. Copy variable, the index there always, okay? Always reduce the index by 1, negative 2 minus 1 become negative 3. Okay, next, this one. Negative 3 times positive 5, negative 15. Copy variable, the index there, negative 3 minus 1. Okay, reduce the index by 1, negative 3 minus 1 become negative 4. Okay, now you can see your answer right now is in negative form. So all the variable here bring down. Final answer, always bring down all the variable there. Now you have over x cubed. This one over x4, done. Okay, but this one, you see, you have a bracket power 5. So of course you cannot simplify this. You need to use quotient rule. Okay, alright. You can also apply, okay, either you use quotient rule or product rule. You can use product rule here actually, but if you want to use the product rule, you need to bring up the bracket here, become like this. Okay, this one, okay, become like this. So this bracket, okay, after you bawa naik, dia jadi power of -5. Boleh. Okay, so how to solve this? Okay, using product rules, kita akan tengok dalam video berikutnya. And then kita akan tengok jugalah how to apply quotient rule for this function. Okay, the same function.